Joburg, it's summer and we're braaiing. And in typical Joburg fashion, it's raining, but that's not going to stop us. And tonight, we're looking at the best way to braai steak. So I've taken the 3 top methods, namely simply seasoned and on the braai. Secondly, using a wooden braai plank. Interesting. And thirdly, marinating the steak for 24 hours. We're using the only steak in my books for braaiing, which is rump steak. I've got a really good cut from my butcher, thick cut, and we brought it to room temperature for about half an hour, 45 minutes out of the fridge before cooking. Braai coals, scorchingly hot on the braai. 4-second test. Yep, perfect. So now we start with the braai plank on for 2 minutes to get really hot, and then we're going to cook each of the steaks for 4 to 5 minutes aside, turning once for medium rare at this thickness. Braai plank on for 2 minutes. Two minutes have passed. Check on the plank. It's warped, which it's supposed to do. Turn that over. Simply season our 2 steaks. First one goes on the braai plank. Second one, straight on the coals. Third one, marinated, no reason for seasoning, on the coals. About 4 minutes, then we turn them. The one on the braai plank might take a bit longer, and I've never done this before, so we'll see. Cheers. Been about 4.5 minutes, so I'm going to turn my marinated steak. Oh my God, that looks amazing. The sugar has just caramelized and it looks delicious. And my plain seasoned steak, also looking gorgeous. The plank, it's working, but it's slow. I think that's probably going to take about double the time. We wait and see. Right, so we're looking at 4.5 minutes aside on this, and it looks fucking amazing. The one on the wooden plank, I'm just gonna stick the lid on because I think that's the only way that we're really gonna get the smokiness out. So on with the lid. Cover these with foil, let them rest for 5 minutes while that tries to do its thing. Okay, so we've been cooking this with the lid on for about 7 more minutes. That's done. So we'll let that rest for another 5 minutes, and then we'll taste. So we've rested the steaks. They all look pretty amazing. Time for the taste test. First up, the marinated steak. So succulent, so juicy. The joy of marinades is that the sugar just imparts that amazing kind of American barbecue thing onto the steak that's kind of sweet and savory and gorgeous. Amazing. Second, just simple seasoning as is. It's just so beautiful because it lets the quality and the flavor of good steak shine through it. It's so good. And lastly, on the plank, the smoked rump steak. That's really interesting It's beautiful, it's smoky. It's not seared for obvious reasons because it's on the wooden plank, but it's really quite lovely. A little gimmicky, but nice for something different. For me, however, simply seasoned on the braai wins.